Good morning, students. In the last lecture we were studying about the ammeter coupled differential amplifier. As you all know, a differential amplifier is an amplifier which amplifies the difference between two signals. As you can see that in this circuit we have two identical transistors Q1 and Q2, and they are provided with same collector resistance and the same source resistance RS to both the transistors. A bias VCC is provided to both the collectors, and through a resistance RE, another bias minus VEE is provided to the ammeter. The resistance RE can be replaced by this following circuit. In this we have a transistor Q3, and it is biased by a voltage minus VEE with the help of a diode, and three resistances R1, R2, R3. Now this circuit provides a constant current, as we will see. So this circuit, the previous differential amplifier, which we call ammeter coupled, differential amplifier with constant current source. We will apply Kirchhoff's voltage law to this loop. The current here flowing is I3, here it is IO. This is resistance R2, this is R1. So what will we do? We will apply KVL to the base ammeter loop of Q3. Then we will see that I3R3 plus, what is this voltage? This voltage drop is VBE3 is equal to VD, this drop across this diode is VD, and the voltage drop across this resistance R2. The voltage drop across this resistance R2 is given by total voltage multiplied by R2 divided by R1 plus R2. As you know, this is a voltage divider circuit. So the voltage drop across this circuit is R2 divided by R1 plus R2, part of total voltage. And what is the total voltage here? If you consider this loop from this VEE up to this ground, as I have said to you, that from a voltage if you go to ground, then it is a closed loop. So in this closed loop you can see the voltage is VEE minus VD. Suppose total voltage here is VEE and there is a drop of VD across this diode. Then the remaining voltage is VEE minus VD, and the drop across this resistance R2 is given by VEE minus VD into R2 by R1 plus R2. Now the resistance RE can be replaced by this following circuit. In this we have a transistor Q3 and it is biased by a voltage minus VEE with the help of a diode and three resistances R1, R2, R3. Now this circuit provides a constant current, as we will see. So this circuit, the previous differential amplifier, which we call ammeter coupled, differential amplifier with constant current source. We will apply Kirchhoff's voltage law to this loop. The current here flowing is I3. Here it is IO. This is resistance R2, this is R1. So what will we do? We will apply KVL to the base emitter loop of Q3. Then we will see that I3R3 plus, what is this voltage? This voltage drop is VBE3 is equal to VD, this drop across this diode is VD, and the voltage drop across this resistance R2. The voltage drop across this resistance R2 is given by total voltage multiplied by R2 divided by R1 plus R2. As you know, this is a voltage divider circuit. So the voltage drop across this circuit is R2 divided by R1 plus R2, part of total voltage. And what is the total voltage here? If you consider this loop from this VEE up to this ground, as I have said to you, that from a voltage if you go to ground, then it is a closed loop. So in this closed loop you can see the voltage is VEE minus VD. Suppose total voltage here is VEE and there is a drop of VD across this diode. Then the remaining voltage is VEE minus VD and the drop across this resistance R2 is given by VEE minus VD into R2 by R1 plus R2. Now and also here we will solve this and so if we cancel R2 we will get VEE plus VD into R1 by R1 plus R2 and this is equal to I3R3 plus VB3. Now VB3 we can take this side, it will become minus VB3. So this is the value of I3R3. Now we can calculate IO. What is IO? This current across collector. This is almost equal to I3, which is emitter current. So IO is nearly equal to I3 and that is equal to, according to the above equation, is equal to 1 by R3. We will take R3 there. VEE now R3 will be equal to VD plus VEE into R2 by R1 plus R2 minus VD into R2 divided by R1 plus R2 minus VBE. Rearranging this, we can get I3R3 is equal to VEE R2 by R1 plus R2 plus VD, taking common from these two, 1 minus R2 by R1 plus R2 minus VBE and VEE R2 R1 plus I2 plus VD. If we solve this, this will become R1 by R1 plus R2 minus VBE, and if we take I3, then it will become 1 by I3 multiplied by this. So, and this is equal to, nearly equal to IO, because I3 is the emitter current and IO is the collector current. So they will be approximately equal, and if we can somehow adjust that this factor is equal to this factor, that is VD into R1 by R1 plus R2, is equal to VBE, then these two factors will cancel each other and we have only this factor. So IO then will be 1 by R3 into VEE divided by as you can see, IO is independent of temperature variations also. How? As we have seen that we have inserted a diode in the circuit, and we know that this voltage VBE3 decreases as 2.5 millivolt per degree Celsius, but VD also has same temperature dependence. So they cancel each other. In actual practice, we use two diodes because as we have seen that it is a voltage divider circuit with two resistances R1 and R2, so it is not possible that VE is exactly equal to VD. So we need two diodes so that the voltage drop across R2 is same as VBE. So two diodes are used. So we can say that if Q1 and Q2 are identical and Q3 acts as a constant current source, under these circumstances we can show that common mode gain is 0. Suppose Vs1 is equal to Vs2 is equal to Vs. Then because the circuit is symmetric, any increase in IC1 is compensated or cancelled by IC2, so that we can say IC1 plus IC2 is equal to 0. So if IO is 0, then IC1 plus IC2, that is IC1 is equal to IC2 is equal to 0. So we can say that AC, that is common mode gain, VO2 by Vs is equal to minus IC2 RC by Vs is also equal to 0. So therefore we can say that common mode gain is 0. Now we will study the transfer characteristics of a differential amplifier. We have studied the differential amplifier. Now we study the transfer characteristics, which are given as the collector current IC versus the differential input voltage. The differential input voltage is VB1 minus VB2 versus IC, but
This graph is given for VB1 minus VB2 divided by VT, that is thermal voltage, and IC by IO. So we will study these transfer characteristics. For that, let us consider this circuit. Now this is, and we will consider this loop from this ground to this one. This is a complete loop. This voltage from this base to ground is VB1 and this is VB2. This voltage is VB1 and this voltage is VB2. So if we apply the KVL to this loop, we will see that VB1 minus VB2 is equal to VBE1 minus VBE2. And also from the same circuit we see that IE1 plus IE2 is equal to minus IO. So this output current IO is sum of IE1 plus IE2. You can see here. So now the emitter current IE for each transistor is given by relation. We can say IE1 is equal to IS IE1 is equal to IS into e power VBE1 by VT. From this, and similarly for IE2. Now this we can write VBE1 by VT. This VT is, as you know, thermal voltage given by KT by Q. Now we can write VB1 by VT is equal to or VB1 is equal to VT ln IE1 by IS. Similarly, we can write VB2 is equal to VT ln IE2 by IS. Now consider this equation, say 1, and put these values of VB1 and VB2. We will get, this was VBE1 and VBE2. So we put these values, minus VT ln IEN by IS plus VT ln IE2 by IS minus VB2 is equal to 0. VB1 minus VB2 is equal to VT ln IE1 by IS minus VT ln IE2 by IS, and take VT common, and because this is negative and we have log, so this minus will convert into division. So we will just change the reverse. So we can write VB1 minus VB2 is equal to VT into ln IE1 by IE2. So IE1 by IE2 can be written as VB1 minus VB2 divided by VT, and this is exponential. So IE1, we will evaluate IE2. IE2 is equal to IE1 into exponential minus VB1 minus VB2 divided by VT. So we will put this value into this equation which we have already written. We will put the value of IE2, which is now take IE common, IE1 1 plus exponential minus VB1 minus VB2 divided by VT. This is minus I naught. So we can evaluate IE1 is equal to minus I naught divided by 1 plus exponential minus VB1 minus VB2 divided by VT. So this comes out to be value of IE1, which is nearly equal to IC1. Similarly, the IC2 will come out is equal to I naught 1 plus exponential VB1 minus VB2 by VT. Now we have evaluated IC1 is equal to minus I naught over 1 plus exponential minus VB1 minus VB2 divided by VT. We will evaluate now transconductance of differential amplifier. Transconductance of differential amplifier, which is we can call GMD, and this is given by the IC1 over d VB1 minus VB2. We are differentiating this IC1 with the differential voltage VB1 minus VB2. So it will come out as minus I naught differentiate this divided by VT. This will become square, and then differentiation of this, which is exponential minus VB1 minus VB2 divided by VT. and a factor of -1, and again differentiate this, which will be 1 by Vt. So minus will be cancelled and we will have this value. Now if we evaluate this at VB1 minus is equal to VB2. When VB1 is equal to VB2, that is VB1 minus VB2 is equal to 0. Then we evaluate this. So this factor 0, this factor 1, again 1. So we will get GMD is equal to I naught divided by square of 2, 1 plus 1, and this Vt. So this will be the value at VB1 is equal to VB2. If we now provide the transfer characteristics, which are VB1 minus VB2 divided by Vt against IC by IO, so we can see this type of behavior. GMD, as I have told you, is transconductance of differential amplifier. So what are the conclusions that can be drawn from these transfer curves of figure 15.9? The first conclusion is the differential amplifier is a very good limiter, since when the input VB1 minus VB2 exceeds plus minus 4 Vt, ये Vt की वैल्यू आपको पता होगा 25 मिली वोल्ट या 26 मिली वोल्ट के आसपास होती है, तो 4 Vt is 100 मिली वोल्ट at room temperature. So very little further increase is possible. The slope of these curves defines the transconductance, and it is clear that GMD starts from 0, reaches a maximum of I naught by 4 Vt. This is the condition when IC1 is equal to IC2 is equal to half IO, and then again approaches 0. So transconductance from first 0, then reaches a maximum of this value, and then again approaches 0. Next, the value of GMD is proportional to I naught. We have seen GMD is proportional to I naught. Since the output voltage change VO2 is given by VO2 is equal to GMD RC into change of VB1 minus VB2. So it is possible to change the differential gain by verifying the value of current IO. This means that automatic gain control is possible with the differential amplifier. So we can control IO, so we can change this differential gain. And again, the transfer characteristics are linear in a small region around the operating point where the input varies approximately plus minus Vt, that is 25 or 26 millivolt at room temperature. So this is the, as you can see, this is the linear region where we can approximate is at as a linear curve. So this is our differential amplifier and its transfer characteristics.